He is just really great writer and very, very funny. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the hilarious Mr. Tom Patillo!
Thank you. So this may come as a surprise to you based on my youthful good looks, but I am going to be a grandfather soon. Thank you. It's actually my daughter and her husband who are doing most of the heavy lifting there, but I do appreciate your applause. So this is the first time I'm going to be a grandfather, and so I have to pick out a grandfather name. And this is a name that is going to be used by all my grandchildren for the rest of my life, so I want to make sure I pick out a good one. And my wife wants me to pick out like a fun name, like a Googa or Peepaw or something like that. But I don't want to pick a fun name. I want to pick a name that reflects my personality. So I'm leaning towards something like Psycho, or maybe Venom would be a good one. I think Gargoyle might work well too. I think it would be really cool for my grandkid to say things like, "Can we go visit Nene and Bloodraven this weekend? Gosh, we had so much fun at the petting zoo with Meemaw and the Kraken." And even though these are obviously fantastic grandfather names, I'm getting a lot of pushback from my family. And in fact, the only one who is supporting me in this is my son-in-law, Snake. So something you probably picked up on, that all of the grandfather names that I used had hard consonant sounds in them, right? You picked that up, right? So that's a thing that comedians do, because we know that people are more likely to laugh at words that have hard consonants in them. And let's take oral sex as an example. If you were going to write a joke about oral sex, you could call it oral, but it would be funny to use the word blowjob, because blowjob has hard consonants in it. And that's why whenever I want to make my wife chuckle, I ask for oral. And whenever I want to make her laugh hysterically, I ask for a blowjob. But there are some words that you cannot say, even though they have consonants in them. It might sound funny. And the C word is one of those words. That word is offensive, it's vulgar, people get very upset with you when you say it. And I learned that the hard way when I gave the best man's toast at my brother's wedding. And yeah, and in hindsight, I should not have used the C word when referring to the bride. I should have done like everybody else in my family and just called her a bitch. So you probably noticed that I am an older white guy. And no, it's true. And I was also born and raised in the South. And because of this, a lot of people just assume that I'm probably a racist. Or if I'm not a racist, that I'm at least racist adjacent. And this is just not true. I am not a racist. I have a number of black friends. And in fact, my parents were not racist either. When I was a kid, we lived right next door to a black family. I mean, actually, we didn't live next door to them for very long. Shortly after they moved in, we moved to a different part of town. But so my wife and I are empty nesters now, and life is really, really, really good. I mean, don't get me wrong, I have 3 kids and I love them, but it's just a fact that life gets better when your kids move out of the house. They know. You have more room, fewer expenses, you can walk around the house naked. Now that last one though, that can cause you some problems if you forget to put your clothes on before you go out to get the mail. And I've actually gotten several letters from my HOA about that. But my neighbors, they're empty nesters too, and they put blinds up on their window. And they weren't worried about people looking in and seeing them naked. They were just tired of looking out their windows and seeing me. So one of the benefits of having your kids move out of the house is you can be a little more adventurous in the boudoir, if you know what I mean. You can also be more adventurous in the living room and the kitchen too, for that matter. But here's the thing. Despite the fact that I have fathered 3 children and I have slept with a lot of women, I may not be the world's greatest lover. For me, the female pleasure center is a lot like my car keys. I have a really hard time finding both of them. But lucky for me and my wife, we have recently learned that personal massagers can be used on things completely unrelated to sore muscles and on parts of the body that have nothing that are totally different from the shoulders and neck. And this has added a whole new level of adventure for us in the boudoir and the living room and the kitchen, as a matter of fact. But here, the thing is, there are some guys that are that don't like it when their partner uses a personal massager. They feel threatened by it. Personally, I feel like as long as we both get to where we want to go, what difference does it make how we get there or who does most of the driving? In fact, I actually kind of like being able to just sit back and relax during sex. Maybe drink a beer, watch some Sports Center, go out and get the mail. So this is another thing that might surprise you, or it might not. I don't know. But earlier this year, I found out that I am on the autism spectrum. And I know, but I have mild autism, which is to say I have useless autism. Rain Man could go to the casino, he could count cards, he could win money at the blackjack table. I couldn't even earn my way onto the TV show Love on the Spectrum. And really, all that I can do is obsess over things that nobody cares about and make people feel slightly uncomfortable in social settings. And these are not marketable skills in today's economy. So when I was 7, I learned to play chess. And I was obsessed with chess for like 2 years. And when I was 11, I started playing putt-putt golf. When I was 9, I started playing putt-putt golf. And I loved putt-putt. I was obsessed with putt-putt for like 5 years. I thought it was the greatest thing in the world. And when I was 15, I had a friend named Patty Garvin, who was a couple of years older than me. And one day we were over at Patty's house, and she showed me her breasts. And let me tell you, Patty's breasts interested and excited me way more than putt-putt ever has. And right then and there, I stopped being obsessed with putt-putt, and I became obsessed with breasts instead. And I thought about breasts all the time, and I thought about them all the time. And in fact, I was obsessed with breasts for the next, I don't know, I guess it's been about 50 years now. So, if I could, as an aside, I want to point out something. In that last joke, I used the word breasts a number of times. And I could have said tits, or I could have said boobs. And it would have been funnier because those both have hard consonants in them, right? We learned that earlier. But I didn't do that. And the reason I didn't do it is because I did not want to milk a breast joke for a cheap laugh. But I do want to just get back to my autism real quick. And here's the thing about it. I'm 65 years old. I just realized that I just found out that I had it, or figured out that I had it like 3 or 4 months ago, right? Turns out my wife, who has a PhD in psychology, figured it out about 20 years ago that I had it. And she didn't bother to tell me. And I don't know why she kept it a secret for so long. But the joke's on her, because the other night we were in bed together and I felt a lump on one of her breasts. And I'm going to wait 20 years to tell her about it. And then we'll see how she feels about keeping secrets. Thank you very much. My name is Tom.